All right. Well, got everything as ready as I could. But it wouldn't be a new route for Train Some More 2 without a lot of bugs and glitches and not thinking about the actual user experience. Alright. So let's get started. Hey Malty, welcome, you're first. So just a little overview. These two bugged, and I'm not gonna bother trying to complete them. I already figured out how to do most of the work. I'm gonna carry off from this one, but there's also configuration bugs on some of the trains, so yeah, it's a really very I went through a couple hours of setup just to figure stuff out. There is no manual. A lot of the early parts are bugged or have incorrect configurations, and yet they rush out the door. Let's get going. As much as I'll criticize the game for polish issues, the core game itself is, or the core Steam experience is actually pretty good. And I did get my weight down to 276, so that's a good improvement. The load time, though. Oof, this load time. How was your day, Malty, by the way? Did you have a good day so far? Alright, let's check the map first. So we're way up here. We're going to hit the loop down. And I don't know how far. Let's see here. We're going to Rucorn, and we can check the map here. So cruise all the way to the south. We're just a little bit south of. So we're going down to here. Okay. Okay. So this being, wow, this is gonna take us in. All right, so we already got too much steam built up. Let's set the reverser to the full forward so we have max torque. Open up the injector. Release the brakes. Make sure that should have been open. Cylinder cocks are open. Put a little bit of power. Do we have any forward motion? No, we have stalled. Okay. Put the brakes back. Oh, that's under. Oh, that's one. Let's try releasing the brakes. All right, we got a little bit. We got a little bit of forward motion. But we are dragging brakes on this. Okay. Close the large injector. And let's take care of this. So these cars are configuration bugged. You have to go through and release their we're essentially disconnecting their vacuum brakes. Because they're stuck on and dragging. And because they're dragging... there we go. If they're dragging, we're not going to be able to go anywhere. So as I said before, We already got a configuration bug. And the click spot for this is awful. So we have to go through. I think the worst part is this is going to fully disconnect all of the brakes. I don't know if these will have any braking force. I know these ones we're disconnecting have no brake force. But I don't know if this will allow vacuum brakes further down to work. We got a bunch of cars back there. That's true. That's a good answer. Alright. Let's just check at the back end. Also, I love how you still have a flashlight, even though this is I think these oh no, these ones might be also problematic. I'm just gonna take the brakes off and then be extra careful. Where's the wire? There it is. It's so freaking hard to see. No, I do not want to give up control. But yeah, this is a lot of weight with a lot of disabled brakes. But hey, this is the 1950s, so you can get away with shit like this. You only get in trouble if it crashes, right? Brake on this one. I'm just gonna turn the light on. That'll make it easier. Oh, there it is. I love how they have to make them the hardest things to see. We only got a few more to do, though. Anyway, the main thing is I don't want these to drag, because if they drag the brakes, we're not going anywhere fast. We'll probably wear out the brakes too. So yeah. Now we get to go back after a few minutes delay fixing crap that, again, these brakes shouldn't have to be manually overridden like this, because that's just... yeah, that's just not safe. And we still got our fireman who's pushing our locomotive full steam. Like, we're already at max steam pressure, and he's still pushing the heat up. Like, look at him, adding more coal. We got all the steam we need. You can let cool off a little bit, man. Alright. Oh, we do have some vacuum pressure. Can we go now? Alright. Brakes are released. And okay. So, there's... God. This is some... I hit all of these wagons. Except for the flatbeds. I'm gonna get those too. This is not a good look. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna do a different mission, because, God, I don't have time for this. You guys don't have time for this either. At least these ones are easier to see. Okay. And one more. Alright, that should be all the brakes released. So, yeah. This should be working. There are passenger services, and from what I've seen, the passenger services work. Okay. So, release, injector open, and we should... Okay, we have complete... The brakes are still on, even though we have pressure, so... Alright, I'm just gonna check... do a different mission, because I'm not gonna mess with their broken... If it's not gonna work, it's not wasting my time. I'll do a quick debug, but I'm gonna skip the freight missions and go back to passenger ones. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this mission works. Also, how's your day been going? I haven't heard from you in a while, so I hope you're doing well. Hopefully they're not working you too hard. If it's broken, then don't mess with it. Get someone who's qualified to fix it. Because messing with something that's broken, 9 times out of 10 will break it worse. Yay, frame rate's gone. Hey guys, you remember when we had frame rate? I remember when we had frame rate. And my controls are locked, so I have low frame rate with no controls. Well, I'm trying to, but game, you gotta let me. We got a turntable at least. I'm just pulling that right wheel and oop. Well, this has a little bit of momentum. Oop. This is harder than controlling a train. Because it has so much... Stop, stop, stop. There we go. There we go. Okay, game, let me... There we go. So we're going to set the reverser. Okay, we're going to... Okay, cock's open. And I'm going to use an actual view because I really don't think... I'm just going to use these steam brakes. easier on the controls. I don't even think this turntable is big enough. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. And nose is clear. Brakes hold. Combinational brakes 100th. Okay. Let's do a little bit more. All right, there we go. What do you mean? It's freaking aligned. Game? Are you broken again, game? I mean, look at this. The track is connected. Like, you can barely see the two tracks. Unless they want me to rotate all the way around. Okay, I'll rotate all the way around. Yeah, that's a good point. Again, Dovetail Games loves to release half-baked products. They need a better QA department. They need to actually, do their job and make the games polished and playable. Far too long, there's been way too many outstanding glitches, and then they never get fixed. They just get left for days, for months, years. And it sucks. Like, why is Auto Fireman still running the steamer at full blast when we're just rotating it around? It doesn't need that much steam yet. Are we there yet? No, 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 no. Alright. Check the rails. The rails are aligned. Okay. We are good. Reverser to forward. Brakes off. Let the pressure settle. A little bit forward power. All right. I love how there's this glitch where you temporarily are located in between two tracks. So the game's like, oh, you have unlimited speed limit. You can go as fast as you want. That's a glitch that's been there forever. The roof vent works at least. We got a lantern. We have the handbrakes, the ejector, another injectors, sander, the other ejectors, steam and combine. The cocks work like they're supposed to. A lot of the controls actually do work really well inside the locomotive. And the animations aren't half bad. Albeit, I don't think they would have a woman with a ponytail being a fireman on a steam locomotive in the 1950s. I don't think the UK was that progressive. I mean, I don't know my history that well, but I don't think they were that progressive. I mean, they'd definitely wear a ponytail if they were doing this. They'd keep their hair down and tight to avoid it catching on fire, but you know, this was still a little bit before Margaret Thatcher's time. I will say the visuals, they're not half bad. They're really not half bad. Like, you can see that, well, you should see a little bit of steam coming out from the cocks. But most of it is from the pressure valve. Okay, let's get the brakes on. Nice and stopped. Okay, let's prep for the shunting maneuver. Set to reverse. It looks good. It has to, though. It's Unreal 4. Honestly, I really don't care about the models that much. I'm just saying it's kind of funny, though. I mean, actually, the water here looks really good. If I have time later on, I can show you how bad the water can look. Or at least on the worst route they've ever released. Like, the absolute worst route. So, once we get coupled up, I will actually explain a little bit about how a steam locomotive works. Or at least how this generation works. But... Oh, yeah. If you angle it just right, you can get... well, camera collisions are glitchy, but... Alright, to go through the UI, speedometer, this is the reverser setting. This is the percent of the... what did I want to call it? It's basically the throttle. So the throttle reverser, the BC and vac pressure. Vac pressure is for the... So vacuum pressure is for any cars that are attached. And then this is for the steam brake pressure on the actual locomotive's brake caliper. Basically, what you do is you take steam from the main drive and push it into brake calipers to hold the brakes on. That's what the steam brakes do. Let me see if I can get them to show off. Yeah, you can see them apply. You can see them jump. Like, let's see. So here, here, and here along the drive wheels. So if I apply them, you see them pop on. So the steam brakes actually have mild calipers. That's actually kind of impressive. And you can see these are the steam cocks. The steam cocks are there to prevent the cylinders from getting filled with water or having any condensed water. If you have water in the steam cocks, or if you have water in the steam, let me start. If you have water in the cylinders, when you go and apply more steam to it, the water is not compressible. So as the cylinder collapses, it can and will lock the cylinder in a 100% compressed stage, which if done at high rate speed will break basically it'll do mechanical damage to it. So in a simple term, we use the cylinder cocks to release steam and inject any water from the cylinders so that we do not have a lot of any real water buildup in the cylinders. Remember that if the steam is left in there and gets enough time, it can cool off, especially at stations, for example. So if you're in the station and you're letting a lot of steam sit in the cylinders for 5-10 minutes, all of a sudden now you have some water condensed, you're at risk for a water lock, so you always start, or at low states, leave the cylinder cocks open. Hopefully that makes sense, and that explanation helps you understand a little bit about what's going on. So, yeah. That's also why we have steam shooting off the front of the locomotive from time to time. And then, yeah. Also, something to note is when comparing this to the freight variant, this is a 4.6. And that means that you have 4 front wheels, 6 drive wheels. And you notice these are tall drive wheels, so you have a very high tall gear ratio. So this helps you run at higher speeds. Since this is a passenger style locomotive, it makes sense that that's what they would do. On the freight locomotives, which are the black colored, the black painted ones. Let's get a little bit of braking. We're going to do a slow shunt into it. And full brakes. Okay, we got about brake pressure off, a little bit of power. And on the brakes, set the brakes. Then I'm going to climb down on the lower side since it's easier to reach. And now we can couple it up. All right. You'll notice that also there's red lanterns put on the back of trains. One of the jobs of the signalman is to inspect that all of the cars pass. And if you don't see the red light at the end, you know that the train's broken up, so you stop them. You do not want to have trains that are partially left behind on tracks, because if they're unaccounted for, the next trains could come by and smash into them. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. By the way, this train's got one really nice feature. You can open up the window and get all kinds of fresh air. So you can see they got a little bit of electronic signboards and signals in some areas, but a lot of it's really old signaling. Some of the animations could use a little bit of improvement, but they do need to fix this up anyway, so. I always like to put a little bit of power as the brakes come off, just so that, well, it's a little bit smoother and you get less wheel slip. We're up to speed. We can lock that down. Once we get up to about 10 miles an hour, I can take the cocks off. And then you got your main and you got a shunt and emergency on that. Okay, we can take the cocks off. And here's how it looks in motion. Yeah, it does. This is a really good looking game. Also, we're starting from crew apparently. I'm not British, so I don't know how how they like it to be pronounced. Man, there's a lot of shakiness in this train. When it really shakes around a lot. So we can add a little bit of power. And once we get clear of these switches, we can probably go up to full speed. Yep. Let's open the regulator. Bring the reverser down a little bit. And now we can start steaming away. So the brakes on this work off of that. Well, the steam brakes work off of taking steam from the boiler and using it to hold the wheels, which I demonstrated earlier. However, you also have your main brakes, which are using vacuum pressure. And we can increase the vacuum pressure or decrease the vacuum pressure. How do I say? So we basically use what's called the Venturi effect, which basically is when fluid passes over a gap, it can create a suction effect. And by using steam flow over a gap, you can pull air out of a cylinder, allowing you to depressurize the brake lines. And then when air pressure is returned, it will close the brakes. So if you have a brake line cut, then your brakes will be applied automatically. So hopefully that makes sense. And then we have a small ejector, which creates a small consistent stream of pressure to keep our vacuum levels low enough to keep sucking air out. We have the large ejector, which uses a lot more steam, so we can really get the brakes released quickly if we need to. Man, we're really going by quite quickly, though. This is definitely got a lot of good scenery, at least. The reverser not only controls the direction of travel, but also sets the timing for how long steam is pushed in. If you let the steam build, if you are going at high resist speed and you have the injectors open too long, then you're basically going to be burning a lot of steam and not getting a lot of power out of it. So as we increase in speed, we scale things back, so we're putting a little bit less steam in there, but it's trickling so much faster that we can afford it. We're trimming our steam use down a bit. which allows us to keep very high steam pressure in the cylinder. So hopefully this answers all the questions. If you have a question about something, though, feel free to ask. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give a little bit more space on the injector to avoid a high pressure trim. Clear. Clear. The route itself is like how do I put it? It's like 20 it's about 50 miles on this map. So you only have this whole section. But you can definitely see a good distance. There's a little bit of fog, but it's not too much. You can definitely see like around 4 miles. The LD is not amazing, but it works. Also, this is shaking so much. I'm going to bring the regular in. There's us passing the freight service. Alright, let's just get off the steam for a bit. Notice how we get a little bit more steam built up because I'm off of it. Yeah. Oh man, this is definitely bouncing around a lot. I mean, we're going 90 miles an hour on... Our fireman is... Oh god, the auto fireman is so bad. We're literally blowing the safety valve at 90 miles an hour because he's built up way too much steam. I know that you can change it, but I'm not sure what I want to do about that. Oh, we got to... Okay, I'm just going to go full brakes. Because we're now 7 miles... Or we're really close. And one of the things I like to do is... I think we might overshoot. Yeah, we're definitely overshooting. Oh yeah, this is not good. Yeah, this is a pretty bad overshoot. Alright, let's set up for reverse. Alright. And this is why you gotta get on the brakes early. Alright. Release the brakes. Add a little bit of power. Yeah. Well, we know the brakes work quite well, at least. I mean, well, they work as well as they should for a steam locomotive. Mm. All right, I'll just come in at about 10 miles an hour. But yeah, I do wish that the fireman wasn't as extreme or was a little bit more adaptive. Mm. At least they fixed it. Because I know in the previous versions, if you overshot, the signals would not reset, and you'd get tagged when reversing. So hey, these signalers are smart enough to, acknowledge the overshoot. Mm. Mm. Let me just check to see, did this break? Yeah, bro. God damn it. Alright, this is good enough. Let me fix the... I really need a new webcam. God. Alright, let's try. Oh, yeah. Alright. Let me do a quick fix. Because I don't have the energy to fix it today. Mm. Alright, let's see how well this works. Mm. I am hacking. And hacking quite a bit. So let's see if this works. Mm. All right. And yeah, this works. There we go. Hacking complete. All right. Oh, yeah, it broke again. Yay. Technically, I broke it, but... it'd be nice if, stuff worked consistently. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, fungi came in to the rescue. Alright, I'm just gonna do the one after. I'm not gonna redo that. That was so much wasted time. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's get ready to go. Unlock the doors. I hate how you do have to be the conductor as well. Set. We got a little bit of time. I don't remember what all the codes are. But, okay, it's already got a head code set. Okay. Alright. We got another minute to wait before our departure time, so yay. Anyone got any stories they want to talk about? While we wait? I love how this is sitting at the fireman's station. Yeah, I think Jory's the only one with any interesting stories since he's been in Spain. Breaks off. There we go, a little bit of motion. Another nice thing to drag the brakes a little bit is that you're pulling out all of the tension on the couplers at the start, which is good. Because if you have too much tension, or if you otherwise do it, you have to be very careful because as you pull off from a station, you can bump a lot of the couplers too hard and pop them. So if you could drag it, you're basically getting them under tension at the start without having an awkward pop or shock, which is pretty good. And that view is definitely... Well, the water out there kind of sucks. Okay, that water kind of sucks. Yeah, that needs work, but... Other than that, the far distance is fine. This is alright. A lot of factors, so it's very industrial, so... And the bridges look great. I mean, look at this bridge. This bridge is pretty majestic. So... These are pressure gauges, so... Oh man, though, the visuals that you get are really something. There's a number of reasons why. But I think one of the biggest is that they push a lot of content out. And they do, the more content they push out, the more money they make. Because people continue to buy it because there isn't that many rail sims out there. There wasn't that many flight sims out there. And they can make their money on this low-level contesting market. And until they get actually challenged by someone who actually makes a better product with higher quality, fewer bugs, they're not going to improve. It sucks because they can do good work. Like, the core mechanics of Steam Locomotive are the best any train sim has ever done. Like, maybe there's a few expansions for the original Train Simulator series that would be better, but, like, I cannot find any mechanical fault here. And there's clearly a lot of effort put into it. But they're, like, for example, this is clearly rushed to market. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Like, even their whistle sounds amazingly good. Like, it's not the best whistle I ever heard. There's Railroad Online has a better whistle, but Railroad Online has its own issues altogether. But, like, look at how the lighting is here. The lighting here, while low flat, is what it should be. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. But yeah. So reading this, we're going left, and we're cleared through, but stop at the next point, which we're stopping at the station anyway, so. Power off, full cock on. But, like, even look at these notes. These notes look so good. Like, they have a little bit of wear and tear to them. But, like, there's quality of work in here. It's not like they half-baked it. It's just, like you saw with the brake issues, or the auto fireman running this at max pressure all the time. It's like, these are the things that they should have been catching and fixing. And then they also do a lot of outsourcing because a lot of the routes are done by third parties who they do not hold accountable, which is even worse. Like, there are a number of routes which are literally broken. Like, I'll show you Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight is broken. It has worse visuals. It has almost no real content. It's not even like 10 miles long. And they want $30 for it. Like, what? Like, this might only have two very similar locomotives, a lot of bugs and issues, but you can tell there was work put in this. This is definitely worth 30, but they still need to fix their shit. Get it in together, because this is still not acceptable. With, like, here's the way I see it. You can have a handful of odd timetables bugged or have issues. But if any of those timetables are in your journey experience, which is the campaign, then that means you didn't playtest the campaign and make sure the campaign was good. And if you... Oh, and here's another good example. Why do we have a random smoke generated in the background, but nothing generating the smoke? Like, that's a QA fix right there. That's very easy. Like, that takes you a few minutes to figure out and fix, you know? It's things like this which... It's why they miss their mark so bad. But, like, let me just show you, like, you can see the glow from the fire. Like, that's good, but it's... It sucks because this has the potential to really be the next evolution of train simulation. But they can't do... They do so much wrong. I mean, like, look at how well the animations are synced with the motions. And the sounds and everything. Like, you can say the graphical effects are not perfect, but they're synced with so much love and care. And when I did have the stalling situation, the stalling wasn't bad. It was... And the effects worked with in regards to how this train stalled. Like, that is way more love and care than most people would expect. Alright. Yeah, they're definitely not incentivized to fix it. But, like, I'm gonna say right now that they should. And I'm never gonna really recommend people spend their own money unless they're 100% sure this is what they want. And accept all of the faults and all of the problems. Because I have over 100... I have like 400 hours in this game. That's way more hours than most people. But for me, this is something that I enjoy. It's relaxing. And it's a great experience. But it really sucks that there isn't an incentive for them to actually fix their shit. For them to actually do it right. Because this makes them look like assholes. You know? They look like a bunch of assholes for how they release this. Yep. Now here's the thing that they definitely... Here's the thing I will say is that there's been a number of routes that they've done which are truly amazing. Like the Metro North line, which had one bug. And everything else just worked. All the routes worked. The driving experience was fantastic. Everything was the way it was supposed to be. But, like, there's some routes like that. The London Victoria route, or Victoria Bryan route, that one was really amazing. All of the German routes are, well, with the exception of one, amazing. Like, the worst case I could say for them was that they were buggy on launch, but like, these routes were truly, they had a lot of really good routes. But then some of their God, I'm losing my voice on this. But some of their routes are just pathetic. Like, I would say, for example, the horseshoe that they recently released, that route has so many glitches, so many bugs, and it fails. But more than that, it failed to do anything of value. It failed to have all the modern technology there that's supposed to have, and that's actually partially modeled physically in it. But they don't care enough to actually implement. Yet you have Metro North's line that's using all of its technology correctly. So why is it that Metro North can do all of its technology correctly, and it's a much more complicated network, but you can't have in-cab signaling work on a freaking freight train? It's shit like that that pisses me off. The Rosa line was another good example. There's a mission where you have to do a bunch of shunting at one of the stations. And because of how the train protection system works, it would always trip because the signals would not be cleared automatically. You would not be able to pass them without it tripping on you, screwing you over, and wasting like 2 hours of your time. There's issues with the saving system, which is so half-baked it's not good at all. There's more problems and more holes in this than you would expect, and they don't fix it. On the Cornwall line, if you get a glitch when it's saving or when it's loading or when it's updating certain things, and you're pressing the door open button to open the doors, it'll double tap and lock the doors open. And then you can't close the doors ever. Congratulations. Easily reproducible, easily consistent bugs that don't get fixed. Yeah, as I said before, I'm just mentally and emotionally done with them. Because they've basically never had any trust. But they just constantly find more ways to screw it over. Oof. Sheesh. Man, if they have the simulation working correctly, by the way, hitting that switch at that speed should have thrown the whole train off. Like, you saw how violent the train reacted to that? That would have been a derailment. The fact they can't even do that just shows... Like, it didn't even trip a message box saying, oh, hey, you derailed. Which other games do. I. Man. This is definitely a case of a game I want to love, but it's abusive and it needs to be dealt with. Mm. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right. Man, I gotta really calm down. My voice is already shot. And I don't want to have to cancel tomorrow's stream. I want to have fun with trains. Is that too much to ask for? Yeah, I guess so. Meanwhile, being 5 minutes late on the first stop. I will say though, these stations look really good. Let me just do a quick pop out. Like, look at these really old ads. Like, I mean, this is just something that they put a lot of time and effort in. Except for repeating brick texture work, which, but I mean, look at this. Like, mm. All right. There we go. I mean, look at, well, aside from the fact that double-decker bus nearly jumped in the air for a few seconds. Oh, I forgot to lock the doors. You'd think the conductor would do that, but we're... Apparently they can't lock the doors while the train's moving. Wimps. Yeah. Hmm. All right. All right, we're approaching to the next station. Mm. 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 I'm sure these people don't mind being a little late on their way home. Hmm. Like, there's so many little details that are cool, like the little generator slowly turning up there. Mm. Mm. I also love how the game wants you park it so that the last car is so far off the rear of these platforms. Mm. 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 All right, let's see. We got probably one more quick. Let's see what they want. We got four more stations to deal with. Mm-hmm. There we go. Hmm. 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 So one of the things that they do with steam locomotive design is that this is where you have the main firebox, and it's pushing the heat and fumes through here towards the front of it. But along the way, they have these sections which allow steam pressure to have a place to go, for making it much harder for there to be a water lock when you do have a lot of water into your boiler, allowing you to run a lot more efficiently. Hmm. 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 All right, let's coast on power. Hmm. 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 A little bit of power, and there we go. Another platform stop. Hmm. 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 All right, here we go. Hmm. 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 The one nice thing about the drive wheels is that they can take a lot of punishment, a lot of heat. So if you do spin them, you're not going to overheat them as fast as more modern trains. I actually use that when I make my homemade curry. So I don't know about Indian chefs, but it's well known to me. I like it. It adds a bit of pepper, but it also isn't just spice. It's more flavor. But I haven't made homemade curry in years. I need to do that. I think the thing that upsets me the most is that they didn't make a manual for this. This really needed a manual. Mm. Hmm. What? Do you want me to do the you can't watch another stream at the same time as mine spiel? I'll do that if you want, but only for you. Otherwise, watch what you want to watch. Hmm. 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 Yeah. All right. Next up, Edge Hill platform. Hey, I do appreciate you sticking around. Not that many people do stick around, so. Yeah, you're here, but you're also quiet. You're letting I be so much more noisy than you. That's kind of surprising. Normally you're one of the loudest. Alright, full open. And reel it back in. One of the things I really do want to give them great credit for, though, is that driving this is complicated. And this is not like a lot of other trains where you can just open the throttle up and it goes. This is much more of you gotta coax it to do what you want, and if you try to rush it, it will bark at you and stop you from going anywhere until you do it right, or at least get it closer to right. And yeah, it's powerful and it can go pretty fast, but like it takes its time to get up to speed. Oh shit. But yeah, a lot of other locomotives, even old ones, are still, you put the pedal to metal and it goes. Yeah, I do wish there was more people who would be willing to talk in chat. Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely a locomotive that requires a lot of finesse. And also paying attention to the fact that I left the injector open. Crap. We are clear to proceed. Clear. Okay. Keep it 30. Yeah. This definitely feels the way it's supposed to be, so the actual driving experience is fantastic. Maybe a little too bumpy, but it's got no suspension, so. Shunt. So no shunt, just regular clear. Okay. Regular, not the split. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. The one thing I do wish there was an actual speedometer in here. There's no actual speedos, so. Okay, brake, okay, and there we go. We're only about 10 minutes behind, so no biggie. All right. A little bit of power. Let's get going. Mm. Mm. Next up, Liverpool Lime. Mm-hmm. Man, this is definitely some pretty impressive engineering, though. Digging these giant canals in between all the traffic. Like, that's the kind of engineering that people don't want to do anymore because it's expensive, but it makes so much sense. You know? Hmm. Oh, and we're descending. This is the part where I wish we had more light. This is not good visibility. Yeah, that's true. But it's this kind of engineering, the old school engineering, of designing something that'll be useful and putting it in a way where it doesn't disrupt the people above. People in city planning don't follow that philosophy anymore. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't have a distance signal for this because you cannot easily see when you're approaching from this end. I guess that's why they have the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. And then we're going to platform 11. Okay. Mm. All right. Now we need to ride the brakes in. I love that this is an option for a viewpoint. I don't know how much space I'm gonna have until a buffer though. I can't really see that well. So I'm probably gonna stop a little short. Yeah, that's about right. I mean, hey, look at that. Plenty of space before the buffer. I've had ideas for YouTube series. Uh, so this provides electrical power. The device runs on steam, so as you run, it gives you a little bit of electrical power to run the lights and stuff. Well, yeah, let's take a look. You got these wonderful. I mean, like, look at the work they did on the interiors. Like, unfortunately, you can't open the lavatory. It's a shame, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Oh, and this is their first class section. Like, and this is pretty comfy. You don't get much of a view, but you know. Now we got plenty of space on either end, so. What would happen is they'd have another locomotive come in, back up, and connect to the carriages, and we'd disconnect from this one. There we go. We actually did another mission. But one nice thing to say is that it's easier to stop early than it is to stop late. If you stop late, then you're just you're going way too far. Because it's easier to start back up again than it is to overshoot, especially if you overshoot into a danger zone. So we are starting midway and we're heading south to Crewe. Okay. And it's raining. Set. I'll set that when we're ready. Set. And... The one thing I don't like about the lamp is it blinds you through this window. And it's raining, so I don't want to open up the window. Also, I love it. So we're taking over at 11:04:30. Yeah. So now we got 3 minutes before departure. So let's take a look at the controls. So we got the blower. The blower is responsible for opening an updraft. Yeah, so this is a blower. Basically, this acts like a valve at the top. It lets air exhaust out faster, causing the burn rate to go up. And we got the... So we can isolate. I don't know why it won't let me adjust those. Whistle. Shovel. Alright, so if the boiler gets low, we have the live injector, so we can open it up. This puts more water into the boiler, though. So this tells us how much water is in the boiler. So if we want to add a little bit more water, we can open this up. You'll see this goes up slowly. And then that is the exhaust ejector water. I forgot that does something. I'm trying to remember what that. I think that's used for tunnels. No, I do not want to give up the control of this game. These little indications to the right are the shunting boards. So if you're reversing the train, it tells you which of the lines the shunt is set for and clearing you from the signaler's position and point of view. This is used because this is a reverse position. So if you get back the train up from here, this is going to say, okay, hey, we're going to back you onto this section, you know. And then for this, we're cleared on main, alternate is not clear. For them, they have all closed. So they have a shunt. This small one's for the shunt. If they're going to go on the shunt to back up, this is for main. And this is for if they're going to come into our lane. Mm-hmm. Oh, a little bit too much. But you can see how we gotta be very careful. There's very low traction. We can probably start sanding the front. Also, there's no windshield wipers, so Mm. I'm gonna fix VC face later. No, I might not fix until Thursday when I have a day off. But I mean, there's very few things that are truly as, well, impressive visually as this, so. We can probably go up to full blast now. Let's bring the sander off. Double clear. We are good to go. And then this is for us, and this is for the reverse line. So. So we have let's get some more water in there since the boiler is trying to starve a little bit. Man, this is so much rain. The rain is really impressive. Like, this is really impressive how this looks with rain. I'll give it that. Hmm. I do want to do a few things in the future. I am having a blast with Project Diva, and I want to do more with Project Diva. I want to do some streams with Project Diva. I'm having a lot of fun playing that. I'm just not that good at it. Alright, let's start easing off. Holy cow, this is not a good sign. I royally misjudged this. Let's hope the brakes are good enough. I'd rather come short in the rain than long in the rain. Actually, I could probably ease off on the brakes now. Yeah. Hmm. There we go. A little bit of power and we'll make it there. We're only a few minutes late, so. I think you'd have to master the train to really get the timetables down perfect. Because seriously, it is really like I'm already a few minutes late. I'm not even that slow or have done that much of a delay. I'm already like 2 minutes late. And my only fault was the early braking, and that should have only costed like 30 seconds, not 2 minutes. Hmm. Hmm. Let me just check something. I want to see what it is. Let's see what assisted does. Hmm. Can you stop, game? She's got enough coal in her. I don't even know how that saying works. Hmm. There we go. A little bit of power. A little bit of sand. And we are away. It's very important that you open those up when you're starting from a station at especially in the rain, because that's a really good way to have steam condense into water and waterlock you. Hmm. 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 There we go. Let's start easing off of it. Hmm. Hmm. We got a couple miles, so. Hmm. Hmm. I feel like we're going through boiler water very quickly. Uh. Okay, clear ahead. Hmm. It feels like all the fireman's doing is just adding more and more fire. Like, ay 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 ay. Hmm. So this is steam pressure. This is operational cylinder pressure. Alright, I'm gonna just ease out and start on the brakes now. Alright, just a little bit to bring the vacuum brakes to drag the speed down. Alright. Alright, let's get that. Alright, speed under control and approach looks good. Alright, we can let out the brakes and cruise on and... Again, we stopped, we slow down around to a point where we could stop nearly 500 yards advance as a station. But that's good because it means that now we're not going to overshoot the station. We can put a little bit of power, get back to the station just fine. Alright, let's get on the brakes. There we go. There we go. We got one more stop after this, so not too much further. I do love these old posters. They're great. A little bit of power while the brakes come off. And you can see the coxswain, only 2 of the cylinders are working. Now 3, since there's a little bit of forward motion. It'd help if I put a full release. Now you can see that they're cycling. And it's cycling. There we go. Those animations do work really well with what the train's actually doing. Hmm. Hmm. All right. All right, we got about 7 miles to get to Crewe. I do feel like there should be a few more trains running up and down. That's the one thing I will mention. It feels a little dead. Like, we got 4 tracks, and there's hardly anything going on to fill it. Mm. 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 Yeah. Hmm. I mean, nothing but forest and snow for miles around. Mm. Okay, we are cleared on Main. Okay. And then we are clear on Main. Hmm. I don't think we encountered a single train yet. That's kind of... It's this kind of setup that I think sucks, is that you should at least have a couple of trains. But whatever. What do I know? The funny thing about it is I think they have class 101s from other expansions. You could easily throw a couple class 101s running up and down here and it'd still be near end period. Like, it wouldn't be too far off. I don't know why they don't want to add those, because that would really fit in with this. The yeah, they say it's what the 14th of April 1958. Let me check real quick. Hmm. Um, yeah, the first 101s were in 1956, so 2 years before this. So I'm not crazy. You could have Class 101s operating along this line, and it wouldn't be out of place. I don't think we're going to get up to 100, or 90 at least, but... Mm. Okay, so the torque is a little too high. So I'll add a little trim to it to stable. Oh, you know what? Shit. Ooh. Brakes, full application. We are 1 mile away from a 20-mile-an-hour zone, and we are really rapidly approaching the station. I'd rather not like to crash very much. So yeah, let's get on that full brakes. Oh god, we're gonna go way too fast into that junction. And the train is bouncing all over the place. Okay, speed's back under control. Alright. We're on approach and we're stable. And we're going to be able to maintain the 20 miles an hour, so we're good. I don't know how in the world you do this without having a speedometer though and not derail. Mm. Alright, I'm going to close that. Leave that be. I can use a little bit of brakes. Okay. Clear 4. I will say though, the whistle does sound amazing. The audio is actually pretty good. There's a lot to love about this. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do one more after this, but then that'll be the last mission. Or I'll do one more and then I'll show Isle of Wight if you're still here. That's a lovely glitch. Okay. So we have this for the steam heating regulating valve. And we have those which are for monitoring. Alright. Let's finish this mission. It's giving me a lot of golds at least. Going from Euston to, or London to Euston. Whatever this one is, this will be the last one. Well, yeah, it'll be the last one I do on stream, and then I'll do the Isle of Wight just to show off how bad that one is. Crew to Action Bridge. Okay. We got a few minutes to set up light. Alright, set. Set. Alright. Reverser is set. Brakes set. And we got ourselves decent constants today. The lighting itself isn't half bad. It's just a little on the dark side. This one is set in also on April 14th, 1958. Hmm. 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 Dun, dun. Hmm. 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 I still don't understand why they would. Oh, you just realized that, Malty? Yeah, I need a new webcam. That's it's either a new webcam or it's a new fixed VC face. But it's not working, so. Mm. It's just sad. You have all these platforms and almost no trains. Just a few more trains would be lovely. One more minute. Mm. Mm. Man, the animations are playing catch up. Mm. Mm. I wonder how many people fucked up for that had to be printed. Alright. Break. Release. Large ejector. Little bit powered. We are clear to F. Alright. You can see as I open this up, you get a lot more steam coming through. Alright, we should have them cleared. Alright, at least it's dry, so we can probably open up and get some fresh air. So this gauge down here shows the pressure in the cylinders. And as I bring the reverser in, you can see the pressure goes up. It peaks a little higher. So we get a lot more power per shot. And it also helps us conserve steam. But we gotta manage our torque. So if I bring this back too much, well, we're not slipping that much, so I can push it forwards. Around 30 is fine, so. As the train goes faster, it uses more steam, so the pressure's gonna start dropping off. You notice that if our speed, as our speed goes up, if we have a little too much pressure, it spins the wheels. I do think there should be a little bit more tractive effort, but what do I know? Why do you have to do that to me when my voice is all shot? You're so mean to me. You're so mean to me, Multi. Man, I'm all out of water too. Ah. Nice. Alright, I'll... Odd. I think it's just hopping off the rails. Oh yeah. I gotta throw that in Farah's Discord. I'm sorry, Malty, but you deserve that. Well, that's a little too much. Yeah, I'm pretty much at the limit of what she can do. And half the time the train's in the air. Like, look at this rocking motion. Like, ah. Hmm. Again, pull back the regulator a little bit. Ah, shit. I gotta be on the brakes. Yeah, I'm probably gonna overshoot. The brakes work at least, but it could be a problem if I don't get this slowed down in time, though. Hmm. Alright, I can get off the brakes. Hmm. A little bit of power will power through the brakes. Hmm. There we go. And you even park that far forward, it's the last carriage is really an afterthought. Here's the funny thing, I'm running as fast as I can, I'm still a minute and a half, 2 minutes behind. I don't know how much more I could squeeze out of this locomotive. At least not without breaking it. Mm-hmm. A little bit of power while we're releasing. There we go. Some forward motion. Wow, the train did not like whatever. It just crossed over. Hmm. Hmm. All right, we're up to full power. Oh, that explains it. Don't ignore the fact that I accidentally had the reverse in the wrong direction for a little bit. Hmm. Hartford, then action. Hmm. Oh. I mean, I'm at full speed. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, man, I'm so tired. $66 miles an hour. Hmm. All right. Let's get on the brakes. Hmm. This is a United Kingdom route set in the before they flip to metric. I don't think the UK ever actually truly flipped from metric or to metric though. Hmm. Yeah, definitely though. I get that. I mean, this is literally Liverpool to Crewe, so it was a route that's going to Euston. So can't get more English than Euston. Hmm. I'll take that. Actually, you see this little hole back here? Do you know the reason we have this hole is so that you can more easily see if you got blockage, if you're getting the green lights from the conductors to depart. So, you know, it's in situations like this where you really couldn't get your head out. You know, I'm going to try 60 instead of 70 and 5 and see if that works as a starting setting. Let's see how that works. Because 60 is roughly marked by a D, so. Yeah, that works a lot better. The more you know. All right. Set. Set. And we are good. Full power. Yeah, I think 60 is much better than 75 for starting off. Mm. Mm. Let's bring it down. Let the steam pressure build up a bit. All right, so what I'm figuring out what you can do is I'm pulling the reverser in to bring the steam pressure up. When steam pressure gets up enough, I push it forwards to maintain it and extract a little bit more power from it. So yeah, there's actually a bit more strategy to this than I originally thought. Because as this gets a little bit higher, you get a little bit more power, so for now that we have a bit higher, I can put that up, get that power down. Alright, let's ease off and start coasting in. No need to be going full blast. And this will be the action bridge stop, so. Also, I promised you guys I would do, what's it called? I'm gonna do a quick tour of the worst route that they've added. Because it's just that bad. Alright. Yeah, I'll show off the Isle of Wight because Isle of Wight is so bad. Ooh, the reflections are actually pretty good. I just realized it. The reflections off the window are pretty good. Break, 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 break. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. Don't want to get banged on the last signal. That home signal that's a danger. The funny thing is, with the brakes fully applied, I can just vent steam out. Like so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say the scenery, it's a mixed bag, but it's for the most part pretty good. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna switch to the worst route in the game. Like, it's officially the worst route. Because I think it is worth seeing that they can truly do some atrocious stuff. I mean, I have way too many routes, I'll be honest. But this is the worst one. I'm just gonna do this one. But when I say this is the absolute worst route, like, there are some things that are good about it, but there's way more bad than there's good. And that's unfortunate. And you'll see what I mean very shortly. Alright. Welcome back. You're just in time to watch me deal with the worst route in the entire game. This is the Isle of Wight. It's got some cool things going for it, but it's not good. Okay, unlock doors. I mean, so overall the modeling isn't too bad until I show you something. It's really hard to see from here, but that's a repeated water tile. Well, you'll get a closer look in a second. The horn's alright, but it's not amazing. Lighting's alright. The fan doesn't work, though. None of these back switches actually work. The handbrake at least works, but... Prepare to be amazed by the absolute worst, most atrocious scenery ever. And keep in mind, this is one of the late. This isn't the newest, but this is still. Look at that! Look at how awful that water texture is. Look at how awful that tessellation is. Like, the fact that you can see the tessellation and the grid that easily. Both sides look this bad. The textures aren't even that great either. So it's, you know. Like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, this is atrocious. I mean, like, you cannot say this looks good. This does not look good. So yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm not losing my mind. This definitely looks... I'll admit, the Flora on the other platform looks alright until you get a closer look. But... yeah, it's... But keep in mind, you only get this one train in either 2 or 4 car configuration. And then this is the entire route. It's not that long. It's not even like 10 miles long. Like the Bakerloo line is longer. I guess the sound effects aren't too bad, but oh, and hey, look, the lights are pretty bad. You can't see anything. Mm. Like I can barely see the reflection off the rails. Alright, so now we're graded by a yellow aspect. But that's because we're approaching a stop, so. I mean, this is what they've modeled. Does this look appealing to you? Are you guys impressed by this DLC? Because this was, what, $30 when it came out. So do you guys think this scenery is worth $30? This train is worth $30? This really short route is worth $30? Yeah. You. Yeah, that's real. Like, this is it. This is all you get. You get this line, you get the timetables, you get the, like, even if you're a hardcore rail fan, this is by far the worst. Like, Cornwall has better scenery, and it has a lot more track. That, like, Cornwall is 50 miles. It's 5 times as long. It has a lot more hills. It has a branch line. You have multiple locomotives that are used on it. Compared to this, which is just shit. And like I can show you, like on, for example, Dresden, you got so much more on the German routes. But I'm just, yeah, I'll show you what the Dresden routes offer. It's hilarious how much better the German routes are. Heck, the British routes are insanely good. Like I can show you the difference. But yeah, there is a difference. I mean, this makes Isle of Wight look pretty bad, which is the worst part. Because Isle of Wight looks really, it's a very pretty place, IRL. Like, you're serious, you would go there for fun. It's a. Mm. Mm-hmm. Because, like, yeah, this is just an example of brakes, EP max. Oh wait, no, that's not a stop. That's Govia Junction. Oh yeah, they have these stupid ass waypoints that don't make any sense. Oh yeah, now it becomes single track. That's why. Okay. So I don't even stop at the station, but you put a freaking. You see what I mean? This is infuriating. Who thought that would be a good idea? This. This is again. Maybe it's me, but God, I'd be a lot richer man if I didn't buy all of these routes. Hmm. 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 Anyway, I don't know who I want to raid today. Either Westy or Zenzen. Hmm. I haven't raided Westy in a while, so I might raid him. Hmm. But yeah, this scenery hasn't impressed anybody, has it? Because it certainly hasn't sparked me imagination at all. Hmm. 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 Oh yeah, and sometimes it just eats whistle inputs for no reason. Alright. Almost. So we're halfway through the route, by the way. Just to give you an understanding, this station is a halfway point in the total route length. So yeah, halfway through. You feel like we got our money's worth yet? Halfway through the distance? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, I love how there's a bunch of people waiting. Like, what are you waiting for? There's like no other trains. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is another offering, but all right. We're most of the way through the route. Mm-hmm. I mean, I will say this is a cool looking train, but it's not worth the money. This package is awful. Oh, and there's bugs, by the way. Hmm. 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 All right. We got like one more stop after that. So yeah, we're almost done. All right. Well, we're running a little bit behind now, but who cares? Once we clear the junction, the other trains can be cleared through where we were. All right. You can see the other trains going. Hmm. And for what reason they're holding the signal on this? Probably because they don't want to assign a route until you're ready to go. Whatever. Man, I am sleepy. Okay, release and signal change. Okay, cleared. Cleared at caution. Hmm. Alright, I think I'm gonna raid Westy. Okay, let's see, we got Lake and Shanklin. So 2 more stops and then I'm gonna raid Westy. Hmm. 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 Okay. Alright, we're almost at Lake. The housing models are not that bad, but you can barely see the housing through the trees. Hmm. A little bit of brake power and there we go. There's Lake. You can see the lake in the distance, but it's hard to see. See, there you go. There's the lake with the same shitty water texture that they had on the pier. Congratulations, game. Holy cow, you can really see how much they abused it. They're getting all their money's worth out of that shade texture. Alright, speed restriction coming up at Shanklin. And by the way, this is the final stop. I repeat, this will be the final stop. But what I will do is I will quickly go through and show off some of the routes and what they actually feature. Because I do think that I'm not going to really do much with them, but I do want to at least show you the difference in how awful this one was compared to most of the others. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the final section track right here and now. Mm-hmm. So here we go. That was the entire route. And I think I spent 20 minutes on it. Yeah, I started at 7. Not even 30 minutes. So it's like a 23, 24 minute route with all stations. So yeah. So yeah, that's this route. That is the worst route in the game. Yeah. Go ahead. Sound as dumb as you want. Yeah. That is the one thing that makes this game better than a lot of train sims is the ability to actually move around and do stuff. Most other train sims, you're just locked in the cab. Alright, so firstly, let's go to Cornwall. So for Cornwall, we have 3 different trains. These 2 have basically the same, though. And if we look at the timetable, we have stuff from 5 in the morning down to 22 at night. And you got both this branch line, you got the main line routing. And again, look at this. This is a 56-minute trip. There's a 12-minute branch line. Like, these are not inconsequential routes. These are actual routes. No, it's fine. It's fine. And keep in mind that that's 70 timetables, plus there's also the freight ones. Then we got Dresden. So firstly, with Dresden, we got this little dinky shunter, which I can't turn around, but it's a dinky remote light shunter for freight. It's diesel. You got these various different VMAX trains for you got the cab car. You got a freight version of this. You got another 182. This is the Siemens version. There's a Bombardier Talent 2. You got the 406 Interstate Express, the IC3. You got another diesel electric shunter. You got the 155. And then if we go through, you got all these different routes. Like, and a lot of these are 30 to 40-minute routes, but like then if I switch to, say, what if I go to Talent 2? You got 15-minute routes, you got 5-minute bring it into service route, 25-minute, 53, 58, 35. Like, and then we got the ice, which has its 30-minute routes across the trip, the express. And then if we go to what is probably their best Newark. Wait, no. The other best Newark. The London Commuter, which is Victoria to... So this has 1,429 timetables. Like, you got the Class 66, which has 2 routes, so it really doesn't count. The 377, which has routes starting at 4 in the morning, going all... Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah, I'll check. Yeah, I saw. But yeah, like, I'm a third of the way down and it's not even 10. It goes to midnight. And like, this is... You got the Class 166, which I actually did 3 of them. Sadly, there really isn't too much going on. I would love the Class 166 to get more love, but where? You got the 387, the GX series. And again, this isn't as much, but like, you got 30-minute. You have ones that take an hour and a half. The Class 375s. These look like partial express routes. Yeah, these are just partial express routes, so But I said before, like, this is an example of a route that cares. Then another one that I really like. So the Harlem line, again, 263 trains. So you have literally you got all of these. Again, they actually care. There's a lot. It's well thought out. It's a lot of fun. But then we got stuff like the Cane Creek. Oh god, the Cane Creek is awful. You only get 21 timetables. So if we look at this, you have all of this. Like, it's awful. Like, Cane Creek is just awful. If I compare Cane Creek to anything, look at Clinchfield. With Clinchfield, 48 timetables. Two different locomotives, but these are actually genuinely different locomotives. And then you have this little section up here. You got a lot of different stuff. And then, like, if I was to do the... Like, you got these, which are the main branch. You got the main branch. You got this turn. I wish there was a way I could show you. You know what? Let me do Explore and Foot. Like, this doesn't even do it remotely good, but you have all of these different spots. You have multiple sections that split off from each other. So as I said before, Isle of Man is the absolute worst route they've ever released. It has such a small amount of content, it is so god awful, its visuals are so bad, and it's such a small section. Anyway, time to raid Westy. You know what? I'm actually gonna use the thingy. Don't. If you get yourself banned, that's on you. All right, here we go.